Yeah, I'm not related to anyone from Twitch that people would know. Think you got one shot? Yeah, no, it was definitely one shot. Before I even had a chance to react, I like it surprised me. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna say something I don't remember now. What is this? Oh, nothing cool. Never mind. But yeah, no, I mean, shit. Now we wait for Dark to come back, and then we'll hit off the conversation. I think overall, the roleplay was good. I think because of how rare shootings occur right now, I wanted to give the opportunity to, you know, obviously let there be something more to this. But, you know, what else is going on? Shit, I don't know. Chat, you feeling all right? You doing well? What are we thinking about today? Oh, there is actually some we do have to do. What
are you doing over there? Son?
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
Waiting for you to get in the car.
Come on in.
Oh boy. Yeah, let me just. I gotta like.
Just prop there. Put it across your back seat.
I gotta. Yeah. Shit.
Careful.
Jeez, I'm sorry.
She's a rental.
I'm sorry.
Here's my deposit. Right, put it in the back seat.
The blood has to stay upright or it's gonna drip.
Okay, just stick it out the window.
All right.
Good job it's not a bloody infinite bag. It's gonna run out at some point.
All right.
All right, you good?
Yeah, I think so.
One of my headlights is out. You know why? Because Cletus Cornwood crashed into me earlier.
Jesus.
Yeah? No, not Jesus. Cletus.
Well, I know that much. God damn, I need you to go back to the PD real quick.
What now?
Just bear with me. My damn ALPR is on my phone. I gotta go clock out again.
Oh dear.
I can sign on duty for my phone, but I can't sign off duty for my phone.
That's silly, isn't it?
I'll be back. God damn it, dude. Please be Hazel. Look at him go. The Group 6 workers at their finest.
Leave that back.
The fuck?
Back, officer.
Hey, I forgot to sign out. There we go.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Chastity.
All right, stay safe out there. Let me know if you need anything, okay?
Of course, always, Chastity. You're the best. You know that?
No, you're the best. You stay
Please.
safe out there, okay?
Likewise. Thank you, Chastity. The wheels on the pole will be worn down. You know, I guess when you really think about it, this is a portable stripper. I got a flop, like, it's extendable. It's got the little extension thing. It's a portable stripper pole, and we could just kind of lock it down, lock the wheels in, and bam, we're fucking. I think this works. This is valid. Yeah, Flop gonna be done with this blood and then just, you know, pumping blood to other places. It'll be great. Good for him.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm great.
Where we going? You want me to take you home?
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Watch the
I'm
door.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, cool. Come we say suspended.
Yeah, he's suspended right now.
What do you get suspended for?
He's got his meeting tomorrow. I'll be honest, I don't know the full context, but I do think that one of his disciplinary things did not make sense.
Strike point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's strike points. I don't know.
Which one didn't make sense?
He had one that was excessive for. I mean, I don't know how much I should really say. I don't want to get in trouble.
All right, don't spill the tea then. If I get any, I'm getting my mouth shut. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. I mean, I'm just
Really,
you know.
that didn't work on you.
Well,
Come
I
on,
mean,
man, spill it. It's hot.
where are we going?
I don't know. You haven't told me.
I mean, we could go up to Pulido. Nice drive up to Pulido. Take a nice slow drive. Talk.
Sure. So,
Chat. No.
what you?
Are you
Okay?
Are you okay?
Why?
Where are we right now?
Elgin and San Andreas. Now we're east on San Andreas.
Yeah.
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 All right. I'm glad we're on the same page, mate.
Dad, could you stop the car?
Oh, you need to throw up?
No, I need you to.
Don't throw up in the rental, okay?
I won't.
Go
I
on
won't.
in.
I won't. I need you to.
There you go.
Okay. I think Flop needs to take a nap. This happened with EMS as well. Let's just hit this with a quick reset. Because this happened earlier too. RP detected. I mean, it happened with EMS earlier too. But yeah, I think overall this conversation is going to be healthy and good. So break it down for you what happened. Cop got robbed. Cop got robbed and stole a PD gun. And then the PD gun went from there. Trickle down effect. Bada bing, bada boom. Flop got shot. Like instantly. I didn't even have a chance to like blink. Was it that bad? I like it just kind of I want to see the perspective, the POV of what happened. That shit was fucking crazy.
Hello, mate.
Hey, Dad. I'm on the corner of Vespucci and Elgin.
Jesus Christ, what are you going over there for?
I needed air. I'm sorry.
That's all right. All right, I'll be over in a minute.
All right. See you in a sec. Bye-bye. Dark, yeah. What's up, Cosmic Haven, brother? So good to see you, man. What up? Not much, man. Doing a little bit of RP, doing a little off-duty stuff actually. No, it's fine. It's legal. It's
No, I know that.
it's legal.
You're gonna get run over.
No, not me.
You're like one of those. You seen the videos of the sloths in Australia trying to cross the road?
Mm.
Oh, for fuck's sake! There goes the deposit.
Sorry
And we
about
missed
that.
the light because of you. And now we're stuck on a red.
Wait, this was my fault. You were at the red already.
Anyway, so I overheard you and the mayor on that traffic stop.
You heard it?
Yeah, I was. Well, you kind of blocked traffic, so I just sat behind a car that was blocking me way, and I could overhear you, the mayor yapping.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm terrified of that man.
How come?
You know Mr. Thoroughbred? Yeah, no.
Terrorist? Yeah.
Terrorist.
Yeah, I know him.
Let me explain something to you. Mr. Thoroughbred is, I think, has a good heart and good intention, but it has the shittiest execution I have ever seen come from any political power.
All right. What are you talking about?
This fucking guy has legislation that got passed, and part of the signing process of that legislation is that they were going to be issuing a commissioner, but Mr. Thoroughbred wants it to be a senior.
Ken, that doesn't work.
Yeah, well, we needed something changed in the PD. A lot is not working right now, as you can tell. It's been a month and a fucking half, and we still don't have a proper working dispatch. But
Yeah, but don't the commissioner just like work with the budget and stuff like that?
I'm sure
Like a
it's got some.
liaison.
Yeah, our liaison's there too, but the issue with Mr. Thoroughbred is that this legislation that got passed was for a commissioner. He wants it to be a senior. He told me that I'm incompetent, have Stockholm syndrome, and he demands that I be one of these people running this shit. And
Oh, all right. So he wants you to run it, but he calls you incompetent?
he thinks all the captains are incompetent. He thinks I have Stockholm syndrome.
Oh. That's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah. Except the problem is that he's going around that traffic stop. We had Malton at the PD today, who's
Oh,
head
God.
of bar,
Right.
pretty much say that while the legislation's passed, the actual regulatory side of things has not passed yet from the liaison or from Malton's side.
What does that mean?
They're gonna have people that oversee inside the PD. They're gonna have people that,
Civvies or cops?
people from city council, apparently. I don't really know. They're gonna bring people in to kind of oversee and make sure things are operating. Then the commissioner's supposed to be, I guess, sort of an offset to the captains, because instead of having one person to a point, there's three people with differing opinions, and if one isn't around, then they can't come to a group consensus.
Right.
And at that traffic stop, he wanted to know stuff about the PD. Part of that conversation was in regards to, you know, disclosing disciplinary action on other officers. And Mr.
Wait, he was asking about
Yeah,
the dispute.
he wanted to know
Okay.
who. And he looked at a probationary officer and said, "I order you to tell me who this is or I'm firing you." And so I stepped in and said, "Mr. Thoroughbred, with all due respect, within our legislation, although it was passed, it has not been signed." And even Malton himself said that stuff needs to be worked on. And as of right now, although it's been signed, it has not been enacted into authority.
Okay.
And he states that it has, and he thinks he's being undermined by snarky comments by me. And I told him with all due respect, that's the city council problem, because you had a member of city council, the head of bar, come in and explain his side. And apparently you guys have a discrepancy because no one in the PD thinks that this is currently being forceful yet. He thinks he's just got immunity right now.
I went to, when was this passed? Like an hour ago?
Yesterday.
Well, it's not a public access.
Exactly. And I was told by Siobhan that, it is silly to assume that just because it's not public legislation yet, I am to assume that it's already in place, which factually is not how our legislation system works.
I mean, that from a layman's perspective, I'd agree with you. That being said, I don't know the bit behind the scenes of how all that works. You know what I mean? Like in legislation, there might be a legislation that says as soon as a bill is passed by the council, it's active, whether or not it's posted in public access or not.
Well, the problem
You know
is
what I
that
mean?
the problem is that although the legislation's passed, they're gonna have people come in to oversee and people with commissioner access. And these overseers don't have any authority or access yet. And I asked the question, at what point do these people have authority? and essentially the consensus is that they haven't thought that far yet.
Oh dear.
But there's something else about this slimy fuck that I really don't understand. About 48 hours ago, maybe at this point 72 hours ago, Juno Sweeney got fired from her position. She was one of the board members.
Right. Asshole. Go on, sorry.
No, you're good. She was one of the board members who was going to be one of the council people to vote. And this damn, I don't, Juno was against this legislation. Not at the vote, days prior. Voiced her opinion. You know what they did with her?
Right. What's that?
They fired her.
Well, because of that?
Mm-hmm. Do you know who the mayor instated in that position to take her place?
Well, I'm afraid your surprise is spoiled because I saw it already. His wife?
Yeah. His wife took the position. Now, by the letter of the law,
Come on.
by the letter of the law,
Yeah.
he's allowed to do that. But explain this to me, Chief. How are you going to propose legislation and then get backlash for it, then just full on, just a no. Oh, Jesus. I'm just going to put this beside me. How are you going to enact possible legislation? Turn around, get pushback by your board. Because you receive pushback, fire a member of your board. And within that 48-hour period, have a city council meeting where you're going to vote and your wife now gets a vote. And then immediately after the vote, my first conversation, it's him ordering a probationary officer to give him answers that do not recall him, or he is, and I quote, going to fire her. Tell me how that makes sense.
Welcome to politics, son. This is it's been an issue for a long time. And I think, respectfully, it would be foolish of anybody to assume that that was going to change when a terrorist is, well, let's say an ex-terrorist is now the mayor of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Accountability. That word gets thrown around a lot. It really don't mean much until it actually means something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Who holds the mayor accountable? As far as I'm aware, it's supposed to be the council.
Mm-hmm.
So if the council don't like what he's doing, then they get rid of him. I reckon no one's going to do that. His wife ain't going to do it. Mountain's not going to do it because then he loses his position. Etcha would, but she's probably scared because of who he is. Dakota is going to do whatever the captains want, is what I would imagine. I don't know. Dakota never seemed like the type. I don't know. A PD liaison, as far as I'm aware, is supposed to be the bridge between the PD and the council, right?
That was how I explained it, yeah. That's Ziggy pulling up, by the way. He can be here for this, obviously.
How did he know we were here?
He texted me.
All right, okay. But listen, I love Dakota. You know, I was one of the guys that brought him on. I hired him to LSPD, for God's sake, from a cadet. That being said, that guy, he's not the approachable type.
Mm-mm.
He's an investigator. That's what he was good at. I imagine that's what he's good at now. He doesn't seem like the type to step up and speak his mind. Never mind speak the mind of others, of the PD. Guys, Jiggy, yeah. Hold on, give me a second.
That's all right. Do you think?
Hey, honey.
You know, I'm gonna let Dark finish, and then I'm gonna scream about who shot you.
Jiggy, who am I to you?
You're my dad. Why?
No reason.
Oh, okay.
All right. No. You go ahead. Jiggy, do your screaming.
Okay. Who shot you? Okay, it's a little early. I don't know if I can scream just yet, but
You know, I'm gonna be honest. There were 3 people involved. I actually don't know which one actually pulled the trigger.
God damn it.
And I wish I could remember any of their names, but they're frequent flyers with the PD.
Oh,
It's okay. One of them just held up a legal aid in the fucking cells with a knife.
that's
That's what
crazy.
happened.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you tell Ziggy and not me?
Oh, it's over and done with now. It was still active when I was talking to you.
Well, okay, who's the idiot that let a guy into the cells with a knife?
That I walked away from. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
who was processing that guy.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. Basically, I don't think Dakota has got the balls to speak up against the mayor. Who else is on council? There's a doctor person, right? I don't know anything about them. I'll be honest.
Diggy, do you know who's all on the council? I don't really know the full vote.
I know, I know a few, like
Oh,
majority of
Crane.
the council. Yeah.
Justice Crane.
Crane's there.
Yeah. You got Crane, you got Malton, you got Etta, you got why am I forgetting Michael Simone, you got Max,
Oh,
you
for
got
fuck's sake.
I mean, he's the deputy mayor, Dark.
No,
Huh.
I tried and put it out of my mind.
Yeah. I was talking to Michael the other day, because he lives up here, by the way. Anyway,
No, I know. We're neighbors.
yeah. And I made a joke that, if Michael Simone and Max Thoroughbred are like if the Joker and Lex Luthor won. Anyway.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, well,
Most of us don't find that funny, Ziggy.
no,
Sorry.
that's
Well,
accurate after the conversation I had with the fuckstick mayor today.
but here's the thing. I've spoken with Simone in detail about I'm gonna go ahead and assume that they talked about the whole I don't know if what title that they've named it, but I think what was initially proposed was a commissioner or something like that. Am I right to assume?
Oh yeah. Yep, that's the one.
Okay, so I talked to Michael and Etta and a couple others at length about it. So the intention is that they want to make sure that PD is kept accountable for bad things that they do because they kept hearing about bad shit that several people in the police department were doing, and it was going sort of unchecked or punished or whatever. And I know that you probably have heard that story as is.
Now, hold on.
Mhm,
I got a question about that then.
mhm,
So, to me, the only reason that the mayor and such would be worried about such a thing is one of two things. Either cops are doing things that aren't going punished, like, for example, Flop does something and then he doesn't get any punishment for it, and then the mayor hears about it, right? That's
mhm.
one thing, but that doesn't sound like what's happening to me. From what I've heard, that's the opposite, and people are getting punished for things, which is great. But
Mhm.
then the other side of the coin is the only reason I would imagine the mayor would want to get involved is if it's the captains doing things that isn't going punished because there's no one to punish them. You know what I mean?
That was also a topic of discussion yesterday.
That is the
Via
exact topic of discussion.
yeah, yeah. Someone that was a part of that talk with Michael said that they had witnessed one of the captains
Oh,
uh,
don't fucking remind me.
Well,
uh,
No, go
essentially
ahead.
witness tamper.
huh?
So there was that. Um,
Oh, it was not witness tamper.
oh, what would you say it was?
Uh, you didn't hear it from me, but some may call it treason.
Oh,
What?
okay. All right. Well, so, it's worse than I thought. But whatever. So, they, Max and Michael and everybody else on the council, they're looking at making a civilian oversight board, which was, essentially just a group of neutral, common people who wouldn't be, they would have no records. They would be regular, civilians who sort of, answer to the, mayor slash the council, etc., and be involved in stuff like this. But I think for the time being, they've done this whole, commissioner thing, and whoever that is supposed to be to bridge the gap between the city council and the police department. But what they had initially thought was, okay, we'll get someone who's a neutral party who, knows, the side of civilians slash criminals, but also knows what it's like to be a police officer. We'll put somebody in that position to sort of keep a level head about things. That is what they were discussing, but it would appear, at least from what you both have said so far, that Max has just decided to take this position himself.
He's a fucking power trip. Let me explain something to you.
Okay.
So, what I have just told my father
Mm-hmm.
is, first off, the people that he wants in this position,
Mm-hmm.
apparently from what I have heard, is that he wants a senior because
Mm.
he believes our captains are incompetent.
I'll be honest. Uh, I've yet to hear really good things. I mean, you know what? There is one captain that I haven't heard anything negative about.
Slacks.
Oh no.
Oh, well then Turner.
Yeah, it's Turner. Turner was the one that I haven't heard anything bad about.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the issue. Is, and this is what I told someone earlier. While I think there are things in the PD that have not been good right now,
Mm.
I think they are slowly, and I mean slowly, improving.
Mhm.
I also don't think the brute force method of this legislation, which, mind you, like I've said to my father,
Mm.
not 48 hours before, fired one person on the board after she disagreed with the legislation, and he instated his wife in that position 48 hours before the vote to find it a passing vote. Now, all fine and dandy. I've read the legislation. I was at a traffic stop with him earlier. Only met the guy twice. First time he told me I had Stockholm syndrome and that I was incompetent and that I should be running the police department.
That was a
Yeah,
fucking
we
crazy
call
string
that,
of words.
yeah, we call that whiplash.
Yeah.
Today he was asking questions, claiming this whole treason thing. Had this whole spiel about how the PD is just failing, and then
Mm.
simply stated, "What's going on with punishment? Tell me about it." And people said, or I guess a probationary officer said that, oh, there's been some stonewall from higher ups about, PPOs and cadets. And he asked who. And the officer, the probationary officer, pretty much said, well, it's already been handled. It doesn't matter. I'll leave them anonymous. And without hesitation, the mayor looked at this probationary officer and said, okay, I order you to tell me who the officer was, or I'm going to fire you. Now, you tell me if that sounds like a competent person in leadership. And of course, I stepped in to say, with all due respect, Mayor, it may have been voted on, but it has not been signed because it is
Mhm.
not in our legislation tab, which tells me that it is currently not valid. In which he told me that's simply untrue and that my job could be at risk. And I said, and I quote, Lance Malton, head of bar, came to answer questions about the legislation and essentially said that stuff is still being worked on. So if you're saying one thing and the people you're sending to explain the legislation are saying another thing, that is a city council issue because nobody in the PD is acknowledging you right now until it is
Mm.
enacted in legislation.
Yeah. Okay.
This guy's
Yeah,
a power trip.
yeah, it definitely seems like an overstep there, but it also
I'm
that's
playing
tough.
devil's advocate for a minute.
Hmm.
Even if it is a power trip, what about if he's doing it for the right reasons? Now, this is me saying this. This is coming out of left field here.
Hmm.
But what if he's actually doing this because he believes the captains are incompetent at holding the PD accountable?
Oh,
So,
okay, sorry.
I don't.
so what about if he's actually doing this to hold the PD accountable? Whether or not he's being a power trip or not is irregardless of he might actually be able to do something. You know what I mean?
I'm not. Listen, I'm not doubting it. In fact, that commissioner position was already asked if I was interested. And to be honest with you,
I was also offered it.
Really?
I should know because I didn't
that
want
would
to.
be
Why?
fucking hilarious. Holy
Oh,
shit.
I'll be honest.
Yo, Enduring, thank you so much for the
I
tier
wouldn't
one. I appreciate
totally
it.
mind the position, and I have a good headspace to do it and the right idea to do it, but it, man, uh, it's like painting a target on my back from orbit, and also it's I know the job is going to be overwhelming. So I told because when I was talking to Michael about it, he like semi offered the position, and I was like, I could do it, but oh my god, no. So anyway,
Well, there's a lot wrong with PD right now, obviously. Unfortunately, and I mean this wholeheartedly, everyone is only hearing the negative. In fact, if you'd like to know something off the record, the mayor had approximately zero conversation with any of the captains about anything going on prior to this legislation.
Hmm.
so I think just like Dark was saying, I do think that thoroughbred slash the council is coming from a place of they want to see things be better and have that sort of um the idea is police officers are working for the people of Los Santos, and these are the elected officials of Los Santos, and in order to make sure that everything is going smoothly, that's why they've done all this in the first place. Now I do want to say, I think the intent of this is good on their part slash his part. How he's going about it is probably the worst way to go about it, because it
He just
builds.
shoved a 12 gauge into a cadet's mouth and tried to force her to speak.
So right, it
Or he
builds
was going to pull the trigger.
resentment. Right, it builds resentment among the police department, and makes people not want to work with and or trust. And that's something that I told Michael. I was like, listen, you get somebody who's relatively neutral and knows how to communicate with varying people and attitudes and this, that, and the other, you're gonna have a pretty decent transition into this. And I told him, I was like, if you get Max doing it, it's not gonna be as smooth, and it's people are not going to be happy about slash trust whoever this commissioner is. And lo and behold, so
If there was a split in tracks and I had to have two terrorists, one on each track, and I had to pull on which one was going to get ran over, I never would have thought I'd say that Michael seems like the more competent one.
I forgot my coffee in the car.
I hate you. Ziggy has a
I don't
lot
know.
of Ziggy has a lot of connection with people at the mayor's office. And of course, he's going to be more biased toward people working under. I'd like to believe that good is going to come from this. But you got me fucked up, Dad, if you think I'm going to bend the knee to do this when I say it, or I'm going to fire you. It might as well take
Oh
the
no.
badge now. because that is
No,
fucking
I
stupid.
completely agree. At the end of the day, this position, whether it's the mayor's in charge or the commissioner's in charge, regardless, that should be using the right way. I'm gonna circle back because I'm sitting here thinking about this stuff, and I'm trying to put out of my mind the past with these people and just focus on the positions. You know, the rank, not the man. And then I'm gonna ask some questions. It's been what, 2 months since everybody moved back? Since you Matt got the invite?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think things have improved for the PD?
Nope.
Right. Do you think the captains have been a bottleneck?
I'm gonna just save you the point because I know where you're going with this. I do think that if we're gonna have a chance of seeing change, this is a solution. This is a way.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's for
But
the good or the worse, we're gonna have to see. But I can tell you that I am
I
terrified
agree.
to see the outcome.
no, me too. This is you're essentially playing Russian roulette. But I think the important thing is here, and it's awful because it sounds like Matt and it sounds like Cornwood's been kind of pissed off about stuff. You've been pissed off about stuff. I imagine you guys have had conversations with the captains,
Or
and
was
nothing's
suspended.
changed.
Yeah,
It's not
I
a
heard
good
about that.
example.
He's a bad
But what
example.
I'm trying to
I respect
what I'm
him.
trying to say is, you guys have brought things up and nothing's changed over 2 months. If this is the fire under their ass that gets things moving, then great. You know what I mean? Whether or not this goes the right way when it comes to this commissioner role and the mayor's role is regardless of the fact that hopefully a bit of pressure on them coming from above instead of below gets things moving in the right direction. I don't hope that, hope it does. Hope something changes. But I don't know. I think this might be a good thing. It could also be terrible. It's a flip of a coin.
I forgot to mention. So, sorry, this coffee is great. Anyway,
What are you fucking chewing it?
really thick milk.
Eat your stupid cheese Danish.
Shut up. So, I don't know if this is in writing at the moment.
Is it a
but it
cheese
is something.
Danish?
Shut up.
I knew it.
This isn't in writing, or I don't know if it's in writing at the moment. It could be, but it was talked about yesterday. Okay. The city council
I know my
should
friend too well.
have the opportunity to decide somehow, likely I would imagine it's a vote or something like that, if they feel Thoroughbred has stepped way out of line, they can vote to remove him as commissioner. Slash, I think that they may also involve the Civilian Oversight Board. I could totally be wrong about that. I just
I
know
don't
that
think
That
it
was
was
just for the mayor.
I don't think he's.
I
Oh.
thought the whole point, because I asked the question the other day to Etta, I think, and I was like, who keeps the mayor in check? I think she said the council.
Well, the thing is that I don't think the mayor's taking over the commissioner role.
Oh, so okay. Well, then what the fuck? What is he trying to fire people for?
I don't think he understands what he proposed in the legislation. Either that or I've misread it horrifically.
Was it okay? Listen, from what I wasn't around when Max was doing his gnome stuff, right?
I was.
But as far as I could tell, the guy was very convincing. He's got a silver tongue. So, are you sure that he wasn't? I'm talking to you now, Flo. During that traffic stop, do you really do you have a full belief that he was trying to throw his weight around as the mayor, or was he just trying to see what would happen, to see where things were? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, did he really believe that he could do that in his power, or was he just seeing how you guys would react to it?
I mean, I guess there's no way of knowing unless I asked him, but based on my first conversation with him prior to legislation, I told him I had information that was fresh that no one in the room knew about, and I'd be willing to share it with him. And he literally cut me off and said, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. Can you check off a warrant? Wanting to know if I could do the captain's job. And he said, nope. Okay, perfect. That's all I need to
What
know.
do you mean check off a warrant? What does that mean? Like sign a search warrant?
Captains have to approve a warrant. We submit them, captains approve them.
What?
Long story.
How long has that been a thing?
Forever. The thing about it though is that all Max wanted was to know if we were bottlenecked and wanted to know if we were being halted essentially. And I told him that the only limitation we really have would be the warrants. But he said that he doesn't give a fuck what I have to say, even though I've flat out told him we have access to literally everything. I have the ability to make someone chief of police and give them those tags. I can do literally everything except check a fucking warrant. And because of that,
No,
that was
right,
that was his whole encompassing reason. And he said that I was part of the reason.
No, but I don't think that's what he was asking, was it? You can do all that stuff. That doesn't mean it makes it official.
But in the absence of a captain, I'm allowed to make captain decisions at that point.
Apart from hire dispatches, could you hire people? Could you hire cops?
Okay. So I can't hire fucking cops. I can't hire dispatchers.
Can't do the warrants. What about search warrants? Can you sign those?
No, those go directly to the DOJ.
Right, so you don't have to have a supervisor's approval or nothing like that? A supervisor? Yeah.
I honestly, no one's ever, no one at least in my shift has had to sign a search warrant. I'm pretty sure I can approve those.
Okay. I don't know. I just asked you the question. Do you feel like you're bottlenecked? And you were like, I'll save you the trouble. And you basically said, yeah. Listen, I'm not trying to fight with you here. I'm trying to reason the situation.
I think the fact that I can't do one or two things is not an over-encompassing reason to sit at a traffic stop and get badgered by the man I'm supposed to be respecting.
I agree with you. I agree. Though I think, again, I don't like I'm finding myself over on this side of the fence, but I am, because I'm ignoring that the guy was a terrorist at this moment. But if I was in his position and I've been hearing that the three captains were limiting the progression of the police department, and then I was asking you, do you feel like a bottleneck? Obviously, the warrants thing would come as a yes. That would come as part of that. So I don't think that was necessarily the focus was on the details. It was on the bigger picture. And if he feels that the PD is not progressing in a way that's, I guess, good for the city and good for the people of the city, that, again, I'm assuming he's looking out for them and not just out for himself, then yeah, I'd probably want to make a change. I want to do something about it.
I want to be clear. I'm not denying the change. I think the change could be good. I think if
You want about the execution of that change? Yeah.
If there's any person who walks in this city who I think could be way more competent for that job and position, Max Thoroughbred does not make a top 15 for me. He doesn't make a top fucking 50.
Yeah, I can agree with you there.
Respectfully speaking, I will respect him face to face. I will speak my mind to him and be honest with him. But you got me fucking damned if you think I'm going to sit there and be told if he demands something or I'm going to lose my job, take the badge.
if I'm honest with you, I think for the past, what, how long's it been? We've been cops for the past, however long that is. Let's just call it 8, 9 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost a decade around there.
Yeah. I think we've been very fortunate in this city that we haven't had to answer to the mayor's office.
You're right.
Most places do.
We only had to answer to the Senate. Look how that worked
Yeah.
out.
Look how that worked out.
Now we're giving power to the mayor. Let's see how that works out. I'm sure if we pick a faction of which piece of the island's going to blow up first, I think based on process of elimination, we're losing Polito first.
Well, listen, you got to think about it like this, okay?
I'm thinking big picture. I'm thinking like carpet bomb
Well-
or napalm.
Listen, not that. I'm talking about. Oh, there's an alarm going off. Anyway, right.
Who the fuck has what the fuck? It's 10 after,
Is that
bitch.
for you to remember to be a good husband, Ziggy?
No, that's a reminder to, if I didn't wake up the first time, to wake up to that one.
Nice.
I have a
Yep.
feeling you haven't been to sleep in a minute.
No. I've just woken up like an hour ago. It's
Hey,
fine.
Jen, thank you so much for the tier one. I
Um,
appreciate it.
anyway.
Thank you.
These are, whether we like it or not, unfortunately, our elected officials. The people, the city.
I'm sorry. I'm cutting
have-
you off. I
Uh-huh.
didn't elect Siobhan in her position.
Yeah, but in accordance with our. Oh well, you're fucking right about that. That is an issue. But in accordance with majority of that council, with our government and how democracy works, these are our elected officials, and they're acting with whatever power that they've been given. Does it? Are they doing it the right way? Are there intentions?
I'll answer that. There is a
Okay.
clear-cut answer. No, they are not.
But this is just the hand we are presently dealt, and I think it's just sort of what we have to make the best of for the time being. I think overall, from who I have all talked to that is on the council, their intentions are good. I think that they are just going about it in
Because
the
you're
most
talking to the good ones.
they're going about it in the most brazen way, especially Max. I haven't had the opportunity to talk to Max. You're right.
Good.
Um,
Keep it that way.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I will at some point. But Michael is at the very least keeping a very level head about things. He agrees with Max on his intentions. I don't know how he feels about his execution.
I don't know if a lot of us agree with his execution. I'm sure Michael and him have a lot in common.
Mhm.
Being
No.
terrorists and stuff.
Okay, but listen.
Anyway.
All right? That's a long time ago.
You're seeing the good side of the council, though.
No, not necessarily. I've spoken with Etta, and the grievances she's had with several people in the council, and Max definitely sort of perpetuates anybody who goes against his ideas or ideals as someone to be unfavored. I don't think that's great. I know that there are negative sides to the council for sure. Etta has told me firsthand that she's experienced it, having said no to several of the proposals that the council has brought up. I agree that it is flawed, but here's the thing, though. I think that our system has always been sort of flawed. I think that this is a step in a relatively decent direction. Is the first iteration of it good? No, not really. But I think it's it's going in a good direction of making sure things are going somewhat smoothly. Are a lot of people going to be happy about it? No. Will that change in the near future? Probably not. But I think in the long term, it could be very good.
I think you can sum this up in a sentence.
Mhm.
Max was just given a 12-inch dildo, and none of us have lube.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
do you like this?
We didn't have to. Okay. But like I said,
Oh,
the
shit.
discussion that that I heard yesterday or the day before, I don't fucking remember, with Michael and others. I think that if anything gets ridiculously out of line, either the civilian oversight board or the council themselves can undo what Max could potentially do in his position, whether that be acting as commissioner and or mayor.
I don't say this to. I'm really not a doom and gloom about this. Obviously, I see it from a different perspective.
You kind of seem a little doom and gloom.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
about this, absolutely, abso-fucking-lutely. All I'm saying is that I will never in my fucking life again, for as long as I am in this city, have my full trust in a government again. Because last time we tried that, it didn't work out.
Amen, brother.
I'm willing to give him a fucking chance. But last time we trusted a government, we left.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate again. Because I was right there. I dealt with that and I dealt with the aftermath. That situation was not on the senators. The butterfly effect, whatever you want to call it, only happened because of a select few members of the police department. The senators would have never been involved. Should the senators have done what they did? No. But it was a select few people that got the senators involved in the first place that caused that situation to happen. So, again, you've got to look at the fault of the situation and why it started. Like this, if you're looking at this situation as bad, then you've got to ask, why has it happened? And whose fault is it? Is it really going to be the commissioner's fault for trying to fix things? Or is it going to be the fault of those that have caused this legislation to come about in the first place? And then you've got to ask, well, how's that going to affect me? And I don't see you coming out of this in a bad light at all. What you do is the right thing. And that's not always going to get you everywhere. But in this situation, when what it looks to be is the bad people are the ones that are going to be held accountable, you got nothing to worry about. And I know that's not necessarily what you're worried about. You're worried about someone coming in and kind of kicking up dirt and causing problems. But until that happens, I think you got to keep your head up high. You're a senior. You're a leader. You got to act like it.
Oh, I have. Trust me. I'm not gonna sit here and downplay any of the fact that my day-to-day is an average of 10 hours on duty, and 8 of them is spent as a fucking therapist for everybody. I very well know my position.
Licensed therapist, by the way. Just, if you guys didn't know. Sorry.
Thanks.
I'd rather talk to a donkey. My problem.
What the fuck? I was just gonna say, Dark, you would make a perfect commissioner. You know that, but I don't know if I want to rescind my thought even.
You've said it now.
Well, okay. You could go ahead and take that thought and put it in the bin next to you.
All right. I was thinking, by the way, I've got a recording here that says that you think I'm your father. So if you want to try anything, I'm going straight to the council. 60 grand's coming out of your pocket, sunshine.
Here's the thing, okay?
If
What's also perfect about this legislation, all right, is that Max Thoroughbred has his son, Sis Felker, right? And all you have to do is on a recorded line and or in person, call him and be like, hey, what was your son's name again? And have him say Sis Felker. He's fucked. That's all you got to do. Boom, right there. I've had it in my back pocket. It's right there.
Yeah.
Sorry to derail the conversation.
Yeah,
No, it's fine. I mean, listen, all I'm saying is I don't really have a choice in the matter anymore.